Welcome to Breaking the News. This week we've come to my hometown. Yes, we're in Glasgow. I'm Des Clark. This is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And this week, we are coming to you from the Mitchell Theatre in Glasgow. Loving it here. Right, joining me are regular guest Jim Smith and comedian Maisie Adam, and facing them are stand-up Janie Godley and funny man Jamie McDonald. In the news this week, the first full-length trailer for No Time to Die has been released. As the film will be Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond, it shows him spending his last days as 007, raiding the stationery cupboard and telling everybody in the office what he really thinks of them. It has been announced that the BBC One murder mystery drama Shetland is to return for 2 more series. A bleak, isolated little island left behind from the modern world. Mainland Britain could indeed learn a lot from Shetland. And this week we are going to learn a lot from our panel. Jim, welcome back, mate.
How you doing?
I'm really good this week. My hometown of Glasgow.
Absolutely.
Welcoming you. And how has your last 7 days been?
Well, I set off for Glasgow 2 weeks ago, so it's been lovely coming down here. I was trying to pick out the Christmas tree this week in the neighbouring estate. So, and fortunately, I chopped the one down, the biggest one, obviously, with the bright light already on it. It was turned out as one of these disguised telephone masts. So, no signal this week. So,
Maisie, first time on the show. Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much.
So tell us about you then. Where are you from?
I'm from Yorkshire, just outside Leeds. Was that a whoop?
It got a whoop.
Thank you for travelling up, Mum. No, it's lovely to be here. I've been to Glasgow once before, and both times it has delivered on the Glaswegian weather front. I'm going to go back to Yorkshire and be like, this is tropical.
Yeah.
Honestly,
this is
I'm going to start a business doing all-inclusives to Leeds.
This is known in Glasgow as tap-saff weather.
Tap-saff?
Do you understand the phenomenon of tap-saff?
No, what is it?
Jim, show her.
Tap-saff.
Janie Godley, how are you?
I'm great.
And what's happening with you at the moment then?
I was away in the Cotswolds last week for a holiday with my husband and my wee dog, because we've never had a fight in Burton on the Water.
Jamie, how are you? What's happening, sir?
Well, I'm the same as Jim, but I live in Glasgow, so it took me 2 weeks to walk down here to the venue tonight. But my God, what some things I bumped into on the way. It really was. It's excellent.
There are our panel. They're ready to go, as are we. Let's crack on with round 1 of Breaking the News. So this is a broken news round where the teams have to guess the 2 major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. Now, Janie and Jamie, can you tell me the first story here?
President Trump pledged
to be fun and interesting and
to be more helpful to Boris Johnson. Not only did he express his support, but he also
drank to cope with pressure. So do you feel that pressure to drink alcohol?
No, he replied when asked. Never even thought about it.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say it's everyone's favourite sociopath, Donald Trump, and him pledging not to get involved with the election.
Well done, Jamie. You've got it right there. It's the election campaign and Donald Trump's visit to the UK. Trump received a cold reception at the NATO conference in London. He was disappointed, as he hoped Melania would be a wee bit friendlier when they were abroad. What about you, Janie? I know that when it comes to Donald Trump, you don't have much to say about the subject in hand.
I am absolutely impartial on the subject. The minute he says he's not going to get involved means that's him going to get involved. And he said that the last time he came here, he predicted the Brexit vote 2 days before the Brexit vote happened. He called it in Scotland, which was a complete lie, because I have photographic evidence. He arrived the day of the result of the Brexit vote, and he turned around and said, Scotland really did want to leave. And we're like, no, we voted to it. He didn't even get that right. So even when he does get involved, he makes a complete haddy supper of it. He can't even get involved and make it right.
So, Maisie, let's talk Trump then. He says he's not going to get involved in the election, then starts giving opinions on who he'd rather work with.
He can't just stay quiet, can he? He can't resist, like, sticking his oar in. He's like, it was so obvious that Boris had been like, look, what would really help is if you just literally keep stum the whole time you're here. Just don't speak unless you're spoken to. And he did that little interview, didn't he, where he's like, I'm not going to get involved, not going to do it. No, I'm not interested in it. But I really like Boris, and I do think he's very capable. It was like, oh, you were so like, it's like,
so close.
yeah. It's like at Christmas we go, you know, like my uncle's always like, we won't mention Brexit, we won't mention it, because everybody just says, as long as we don't mention it at Brexit, we won't mention Brexit at Christmas, we won't mention it. But leave means leave. And you're like, oh.
But Jamie, what about this then? Is an endorsement from Trump a good thing? Are any celebrity endorsements actually worth it?
Oh, I mean, you got to watch with celeb endorsement, man. I've been burned before on my George Foreman grill. Voting suddenly become quite trendy. You got big Stormzy there, like the big rapper from London who talks about the postal vote. It's like there's weird ones as well. Like Danny DeVito came out and said, "Vote for Corbyn." Like, the equivalent of that over here is like Jeanette Cranky backing Bernie Sanders.
I had to go and Google who Stormzy was. Stormzy, he's a badass rapper. But where I come from in Perthshire, that's someone that puts that cling film round the silage bales.
Nicola Sturgeon accused the Institute of Fiscal Studies, the IFS, of flawed analysis after it warned that SNP policies could lead to austerity. Sturgeon added that she didn't trust the IFS figures after they ripped her off when she bought a new sofa there in the last bank holiday sale. Yeah, this is the news from the ongoing general election campaign. That's the right answer, Jeannie and Jamie. You get 2 points for that. To Jim and Maisie, to you now, what was the other story we were after?
President Trump pledged
To be fun and interesting and
to be more helpful to Boris Johnson. Not only did he express his support, but he also
drank to cope with pressure. So do you feel that pressure to drink alcohol?
No, 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 he replied when asked. Never even thought about it.
There we go, Maisie. So what do we think then? We know we're talking election, we're talking Trump, but there was something else in there.
Yeah, there's this new thing of people feeling pressured into having to drink alcohol to be more fun and be more interesting. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. And for that reason, Jim and I are steaming. Lotto, no got a clue what's happening. Yeah, you've absolutely nailed it. This is the news that singer Ellie Goulding has revealed that she turned to alcohol after struggling to adjust to life in the spotlight. Goulding added that she used alcohol to be more funny and interesting, a revelation that really hit home with the Labour Party, who have since bought a six-pack of Tennent's for Richard Leonard. But what do you think about Christmas, though, Jim? Is there more pressure this time of year? It does seem to be involved with a lot of people's Christmas celebrations.
Aye, well, our Farm Works party isn't like your usual office party. At the last, we had it just at the weekend there, and the bull got drunk again, and ended up putting his arse in the photocopier and trying to take a photo and wreck the thing. And then we had my granny was making eggnog, and then it was the same time as we had the artificial inseminator in. Got the flasks mixed up and all the rest of it. Oh, it's so... Oh, it's all right. The cow's expecting chickens, so it's fine.
My wife, who's English, she wasn't surprised at Scottish parties how much we drank. It was how much soup was consumed.
Yeah.
Like, till latterly in the evening. I said, look, if you have a wee bowl of soup about midnight, you've got 2 hours more drinking than you wouldn't have. And she went, oh, like a kind of Celtic cocaine. There's a hell of a pressure to get all your drunk before the 2nd of January, before the telly turns on you. Right? Because up until then, it's, buy some pies and 5 bottles of rum, you know, drink responsibly for a £5. Then 2nd of January comes, you're a disgrace, you fat alky bastard. That's where I find the pressure.
Well, here's a question, and obviously we have an issue with drink, possibly in this country, maybe elsewhere as well. What's the most embarrassing thing that you've done when you're drunk? And would you want to admit it on telly?
I smuggled a goat into a nightclub.
That's no embarrassing, that's a Saturday night out for Jim.
I was going to say, it's just, yeah.
Nightclub's that?
It was.
Sorry, Jim just asked, what club was that?
Hey, sorry, no kids.
The festive period, of course, can be a boozy time for many, with one Bethlehem mother claiming to have got so bloated one Christmas she woke up in a stable with 3 wise men, £half a pound of gold and a donkey. What a night that was.
I smuggled the donkey in.
Well done, Jim and Maisie. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of the election and festive drinking. And at the end of that round, the teams are all square. Now, so much of the news is about public opinion, so for this round we've gone out and about in the streets of Glasgow and found some people to comment on the news. So Jim and Maisie, for your team, we spoke to local restaurant staff Anusha, Manny and Annie. What story do you think that they're on about here?
I do sometimes enjoy it. I usually think, oh, it's really pretty. But then when I'm actually in it and I'm about it, I actually don't like it.
I think it's romantic. You can just stay in the bed, in the covers with your partner.
It doesn't happen as often as people think up here in Scotland.
Stay home. Don't come out.
Jim, you look puzzled.
I think it's they reckon there's going to be a hoorah snow next week.
That's the official Farmer's weather forecast.
A lot of snow coming.
Snow is coming. He's nailed it. Yes, weather forecasters are predicting that we could be facing 40 days of Arctic weather across Scotland. Yes, the Met Office have issued severe yellow warnings for Scotland this week, which means you definitely should not eat the snow.
You can ski in Scotland, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Aye.
We've got an amazing worldwide renowned ski resort called Aviemore. It's the Alps of Scotland. I'm telling you.
I'd love to see the après ski at Aviemore, Jesus.
Oh, absolutely. We just rolled down the hill chasing a bottle of Buckfast.
If it gets too snowy up there, it shuts.
Jamie is actually right.
Yeah.
Jeannie, do you get this as well? Obviously, we are a cold country. There's always a big cold snap every year, but we never seem ready for it.
I always like to go and visit all the elderly members in my family because they've get the heating turned right up to 90.
Aye.
You know, and as soon as you walk in, it's like a wee Swedish sauna. Like, oh, you've got the heating right up. But I keep my house quite warm. Obviously, I've had that. I know that you'll find it difficult to believe, but I've had the menopausal age, Des, and I'm eye roasting. So a family of 4 visit me and just sit round me.
Jim, what about this then? Every year we talk about travel disruption. Why can we not do something about it?
I'm prepped.
Oh.
I've got my sledge, my old sledge dugout, 2 collie dogs in the front, and me sitting with a fishing rod with some ham in front of the collie dogs.
Yes, in light of the extreme weather, the Met Office has warned of the potential closures of hundreds of schools, at which point Scots Tory leader Jackson Carlaw angrily attacked the weather for stealing ideas for the Tory manifesto. The big freeze is the correct answer. 2 points go to Jim and Maisie. Right, Janie and Jamie, we caught up with staff at the Glasgow Panopticon Theatre. Here's Judith, Margaret and Peter. What are they talking about here?
People just don't care anymore about it.
I hate it when people don't use it properly.
Oh, naughty, naughty, naughty.
Where I work, people should know better.
It leaves you open to misinterpretation.
I think it's everybody's right to get annoyed at certain things.
Jamie, there was a few clues in there as to what the story might have been. Any thoughts?
It's the guy that's retired or something, and he set up an apostrophe Preservation Society or something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the sad news that the Apostrophe Protection Society has called it a day and declared that laziness and ignorance have finally won. Janie, is it a sad loss, the Apostrophe Society?
I don't know if the Apostrophe Society is a sad loss. I think that understanding how to use an apostrophe and understanding grammar is a nice thing. But it's a thing of the past. People use emojis. You know how like years ago hieroglyphics was like a wee bird and then a wee hand and then an eyeball and then the sun and then a cat in a funny position? Well, we're back to that now, so we don't even need words.
I speak my texts into Siri and he reads them back to me. And I said to my mate, "Hey mate, how's it going? Are you ready for the election?" And it just went... It honestly went, "Hi, Howard, how's the red erection?"
Jim, what about you? Is it something that bothers you, the grammar, the punctuation?
No, my grammar's not that good. I thought that the apostrophes were the lads that hung out with Jesus.
Well, obviously, Mr. Richards struggled with this and it annoyed him greatly that people are misusing punctuation and grammar in certain ways. But there's always something, I think, that really gets our goat, something that really annoys us. Jamie, is there something in your life that really annoys you?
The one thing I was thinking, like, I sometimes, because of my eyesight, I don't get taken seriously in various areas, and one of them is casual conversation, right? Because I was in the pub with some of my able-bodied friends, and we got talking about action films, right? And no joke, I said I'd enjoyed the film Rambo 4, to which my mate said, "How the hell do you know?" Oh. And before I could say, you know, it's got audio description. You know, Rambo takes out the helicopter with a bazooka. Go Rambo, right? Hey, my other mate said, "It's cool. He'll have read the book."
Jeannie Godley, what about you? I know you're a placid person. Nothing could possibly hurt or annoy you. But if there was one thing that really annoys you, what would it be?
It's been a thing that's happened all throughout my life, and I'm sure it's happened to people here. It's when you've got an older relative in the family and they tell you a story about someone and you don't know, and they insist you know them, and they start to give you different scenarios of how you know them, and you still don't know them. For example, do you remember Big Margaret, who used to live up the veranda and her man used to do the Provi check? No. You do! I don't. You do! Remember she jumped out the back window and then she landed in a mattress and twisted her ankle? No, you do!
Bad grammar is the correct answer, and 2 points go to Janie and Jamie. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I'll play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Jamie and Janie, back to you this time. You're up first here. Just tell me, who is this?
I hadn't even realised the relevance of how unique and special life is, let alone having this.
Janie Godley, any ideas who that might be?
Is it the woman who used to have big dragon eggs and keep them in her cave, and then she used to dress in furry bits and then pump one big strange guy in Game of Thrones?
Is the right answer.
Yes!
The person you're thinking of is right. It's Emilia Clarke, who was all over the news this week. Her latest film, Festive Schmaltz Fest Last Christmas, has smashed it at the box office, despite initially being panned by the critics. Emilia Clarke also famously starred in the film Terminator Genesis. That's the one where Arnie is sent back in time to make sure Phil Collins isn't born. So Emilia Clarke is the star of Last Christmas. Janie, the critics came out and said this film was rubbish.
Yeah.
But the punters obviously love it. It's done brilliantly at the cinema.
It's a Christmas film, and I have to say, Des, I am a big fan of the Christmas schmaltzy film. Let me tell you, Des, I love it. They're always made in Canada. Always. Every single one of them. They're made in the same village in Canada with the same Canadian actors, and it's always a woman who's sassy, and she's called, you know, like something like Claire from the city, and she left the big city and the fast life of the big city, and she started to open a wee bakery shop, and she's making wee cakes, and there's always a lovely gay sidekick who's like, "Girlfriend, those cakes are great." And then she does that, and then she makes cakes, and then there's a man in the village, his wife slowly died, something happened, it's a shame, she's dead by then, and he's now single, and he comes in and his heart is hard, and he can no longer love another woman, but he sees her cakes, the gay best friends, like go girlfriend, and then they two get together, and then a big Christmas magic happens, and at the end they have a kiss under a tree.
There you go. That's Christmas. That is it. Jamie, what about this then? Last Christmas is the film based around the music of George Michael, which the critics said was terrible. Then it's come out and the people going to the cinemas love it. It's top of the box office.
I think people just lose their minds at Christmas. Like, they just do stuff they wouldn't do throughout the year, like Black Friday. My wife and I went down and leathered a guy for a telly in Asda. Right? Honestly. And then with the 20 quid we saved, we put it towards a sausage in the Christmas market in George Square.
What about you, Jim? Are you much for the rom-com? Would you be interested in seeing Last Christmas?
No. No. The thing I kind of get my head round about that video was that the ex-birds there across the table, they've all hired a log cabin for the for the Christmas holidays, you know. And George Michael's with a new bird, saying to that ex-bird's girlfriend, here, I pumped her last year, you know. It's weird. And they're all pals, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe what happened was, he's like, do you remember her? No. Remember last year she got me a brooch? No. We did. Remember?
Maisie, what about this film then? Last Christmas, being a surprise hit. It all panned it, said it wouldn't do anything. Top of the box office now.
Yeah, am I surprised that it's a hit? Having seen the film, absolutely yes. I googled afterwards, how do I unsee something? But the critics have panned it. But one slightly favourable review described it as perfectly British, and I would agree with that. It is perfectly British in the sense that it thinks it's great, but everyone else watching is going, oh God, what a disaster.
Well, for Emilia Clarke, obviously, she's trying to make that transition now from being in Game of Thrones. She was worried about getting typecast as well. Jamie, have you been typecast in your life?
No, never, mate, no. I've played a blind shoplifter, a blind driver. Next year I'm playing a blind uncle. So yeah, really full set of range, just one small condition.
You're such a method actor because you do it when you're not in role as well, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So cool.
I mean, this is all just for a role when I played David Blunkett 20 years ago.
Yes, 2 points to Janie and Jamie. That was Emilia Clarke. Right to you, Jim and Maisie, it's your turn. Who is this and why are they in the news?
First of all, I work for the club, not for them. The club is more important than them. The moment they understand that, now yes.
That's the special one, isn't it? That's Jose Mourinho.
It is the special one. Jose Mourinho, who has announced this week that he can't cook, iron or clean, and spent his entire time as Man United manager living in a hotel. Mourinho was with United for almost 3 years, a period which he says left him with a lot of fond memories and a lifetime supply of shower caps and tiny wee soaps. Jim, what about this? Jose Mourinho, obviously renowned as one of the most successful football managers maybe ever, but lacks all the basic life skills.
Yes, well, he's put all his efforts into being one of the best ever. So, of course, he's got so much money, of course, you know, he's not going to do the cooking and the cleaning. You know, he's not going to say, I cook, I clean, I do the shake and vac, put the freshness back. You know, all that.
As you'll know, regulars of the show, Jim's references are from about 1987. Shake and vac.
Great year, 87.
I'm loving this idea, though, that Mourinho's incorporating, like, doing stuff around the house into his interviews. It's a great day for football and an even better day for getting a washing out.
A big wash.
It's a big wash. Well, the problem with Jose Mourinho is that he didn't have to do any of these household chores and didn't like doing them. There's always something around the house that we don't like doing. Maisie, what is it for you?
The worst one at uni was cleaning. This is so good. It makes me gip just thinking about it. Cleaning the hair out of the plug hole in the shower or the bath. Because living with 5 other girls, it was like a pet. It was like a pet.
Jose Mourinho is the answer. He admitted to living in a hotel for 3 years. Jose's wife said life at home can be testing as he keeps stealing towels and she's not allowed anything for the fridge. Yes, Jose Mourinho is the right answer, and 2 points go to Jim and Maisie.
Lovely.
And so it's time now for a final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this. That is the new hard-hitting Lorraine Kelly there talking about a new book on Radio 5. That is a genuine quote. Right, let's go. Fingers on buzzers. Here we go. A tiger travelled 800 miles to do what?
Come to tea.
So has to be the right answer. It has to be. It's something else, though. A tiger travelled 800 miles to do what?
To sing with the Proclaimers, but he'd gone 300 miles too far.
You've overshot it, reversed it. A tiger travelled 800 miles to do what?
Go up to another animal and say, "You're a lying bastard."
No, but brilliant. A tiger travelled 800 miles to do what?
Donate its sperm.
Kind of the right answer. Tiger travelled 800 miles to find a mate. I'll give you that one. Well done, Jeannie Godley. Oh, there is the klaxon. That means Lorraine has Kelly'd. It's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Jeannie Godley and Jamie McDonald. What top team? Unlucky. Commiserations to Jim Smith and Maisie Adam. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. A man was left stunned after finding Britain's biggest crisp, a 6-inch Whopper he's going to keep in a display case. You have to feel sorry for his poor wife. She didn't have the heart to tell him that she bought poppadoms. 20,521 noise complaints have been filed in Glasgow in the past 3 years, giving it the silver title in the Noisy City League, although half of that noise is the intake of breath when we're told how much people in Edinburgh will pay for a pint. 2 female soldiers have become the first to pass the Army's gruelling infantry training course, defying experts who said women were too weak to withstand the same course as men. Those experts couldn't be reached for comment this week as they were busy hiding from 2 newly qualified, tooled-up, weapons-trained female soldiers. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye.
There will be no breaking the news next week, but if that's left you feeling a bit sad, don't worry. Next, it's the state of it.